Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is confirming a new signal in the short term that we need to pay attention to, because this is telling us what is about to happen next for the price of Bitcoin, while the price of Solana is getting extremely close to breaking below this very important area of support, while the price of Chainlink is also doing the same, getting very close to breaking below key support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and currently the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, of course, we're still losing bullish momentum in the weekly Bitcoin MACD, which is a sign of weakness in the shorter term. And of course, we still have a bearish divergence to watch out for on the weekly time frame. So overall, the larger time frames, technically we're still within a bull market, but we're slowing down in the bull market, potentially due to see a little bit more of a slowdown or possible correction in the price at some point in the next few weeks or months. And if we're taking a look at the 3-day Bitcoin price chart, it's the same story here as well. We've just recently confirmed a bearish crossover in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD, and of course showing signs of weakness in both of these price oscillators here. But overall, of course, we've not necessarily ended the bull market or anything. We're just potentially due to see, once again, a little bit more of a slowdown or possible correction, kind of like what we saw in these previous examples here. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, for now, we're still bouncing around in this sideways price range in the somewhat short to mid-term at the moment, in between this area of support and this area of resistance. So of course, we still have strong support in between around 101,000 to 102,000, and strong resistance at around 110 to 112,000. And once again, as I've said many times recently here on the channel, I'd only start flipping more bearish again on the trend for the price of Bitcoin, not just these short-term little pullbacks, but actually expecting more of a bearish trend for the price over the next few weeks or months, only if we confirm a break below this area of support, below 101 to 102,000. But for now, we are still holding that as support. And so obviously over the last one day, not a lot has changed on all of these larger time frames here. But if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, just now and just over the last few hours, give or take, we have now started to confirm a new bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, with lower lows already confirmed in the price in the candle closes and higher lows confirmed in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. And so once again, this is a bullish divergence telling us we're most likely going to see either a slight bullish relief like this, or potentially just a bit of choppy sideways price action as the most likely outcomes, the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. And so of course, a bullish divergence does not mean we're going to see significant bullish momentum. Maybe just a bit more of a bullish relief could be a likely outcome, but not necessarily a massive high momentum movement towards the upside, considering on these larger time frames, once again, these are telling us that we're lacking momentum as of right now. But in the immediate short term, I'd not necessarily expect a lot of bearish momentum for now. So once again, either a slight bullish relief or potentially just a bit of a sideways consolidation as the most likely outcome here in the short term. And when it comes to support and resistance to watch out for, obviously we still have major support in this area, which we've just recently seen multiple perfect bounces from my exact area of support, still sitting in between 103.5k to 104,000. So continue to expect a lot of support there, as we have seen once again many times just recently. And as for resistance, we could find perhaps a small amount of resistance at close to 105,000, considering the short-term rejections right here, but really the next significant area of resistance is in between 106 to 107,000. And then if we can get back above that area, above that, I'll be targeting around 108.5k to 109,000 as an area of resistance. And then above that, we have more resistance at roughly 110,000. But remember, as I've said many times recently here on the channel, even if we see short-term bullish moves or short-term bearish moves, ultimately, we're currently still within a larger sideways price range, as we can clearly see the price is basically just consolidating sideways, chopping around sideways for the last few weeks, for pretty much the last 1 month, give or take. And so just keep that in mind. If we see a short-term bullish move or short-term bearish move, keep in mind we don't have significant momentum to either direction right now. So it is quite likely that these short-term moves will quickly reverse. So basically, if we see a short-term bullish move like this, it'll be likely we could see a little bit of a pullback after that. Or if we perhaps see a short-term dump, it'll be quite likely we'll see another little bounce following soon after. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, of course, we still have that area of liquidity to the downside to pay attention to at roughly around 103,000. So as I explained in my last video, it could be a likely scenario that sometime soon in the shorter term, it's possible we could see a little dip to take out that liquidity at around 103,000. But as always, we cannot ignore these other charts here. Even though the Bitcoin liquidation heat map is pointing towards 103,000, of course, we cannot ignore the fact that we have support in between 103.5k to 104,000. And now, just over the last one day, we've started to confirm this bullish divergence. And so perhaps at some point later on, maybe in a couple of days from now, it's possible we could ultimately take out that liquidity. But as always, it's not 100% guarantee. But at least over the next 1 or 2 days, honestly, it's extremely likely that we just stay in this sideways price range here. Maybe see a slight little bullish relief continue for a little longer, and then perhaps run into a bit of resistance, start to struggle, but ultimately remain somewhat neutral in a bit of a sideways price range here. And so those are my expectations moving forward in the immediate short term and the somewhat mid to longer term. The larger time frames, once again, not really changing that much over the last one day. Those are my expectations. And so with all of that being said, what is my exact Bitcoin trading strategy? And well, of course, I'm still in the larger swing trade, the long position for the price of Bitcoin, because as I've said many times here in the channel, once again, I'm still bullish on the trend until confirmed otherwise. And that confirmed signal that I'll be looking for in order to confirm more of a bearish trend would be a confirmed break below around 101,000 with a daily candle close actually confirming below that level. And for now, obviously, we have not seen that. And so over the last one day, considering we've really seen no major changes in the market, I've made no new changes to this position, to this trading strategy. So once again, still in the long position, taking no profits or no add to the trade over the last one day, and my stop loss still sitting at the same level in profits. And of course, if you want to take trades just like this for yourself to make a lot of easy profits in the crypto market, like what I'm doing right now, then you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And personally, I'm taking this trade right here over on 2bit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses, like for example, up to $50,000 you can claim using the link below this video into your 2bit account just by trading crypto. But if you're not one of these larger traders here, you can also get a $30 sign up bonus and a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So for example, if you deposit just $1,000, you get a $200 bonus into your 2bit account, but only if you use that link. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want 2bit as an exchange, there's also Bitfinex as another exchange out there that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bitfinex below this video. And if you use that link, you can also get some massive trading bonuses over here on Bitfinex, like for example, up to $45,000 in trading bonuses, and also deposit bonuses. Like for example, if you deposit just $1,000, you get a $200 bonus into your Bitfinex account as well. But once again, only if you use that link. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check the links below this video out to take advantage of these massive trading bonuses that are only available once again using those links. And in case you're wondering, Bitfinex is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, keeping this quick because not a lot has changed over the last one day. We're still trading in this sideways price range between this support and this resistance. So obviously this support is still sitting at roughly 2.4k. We also have some short-term support at around 2.5k. And of course, we still have very strong resistance in between around 2.7k to 2.8k. And technically speaking, the trend is still currently more bullish than it is bearish. We've not confirmed any bearish trend reversal signal. But with that being said, of course, we're still lacking momentum in the immediate short term, still somewhat neutral while we're in this sideways price range, just consolidating sideways during a bullish trend. And I'd only start flipping more bearish again on the trend if we see a confirmed break with candle closes confirming below around 2.4k. And staying on the daily time frame, technically speaking, this bearish divergence is still currently active on the daily Ethereum price chart, considering at least for now, we've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal to properly invalidate the bearish divergence, which means overall, we should not necessarily expect significant bullish momentum. But considering the fact that we should not be expecting bullish momentum while the price is holding above key support and still within a bullish trend, ultimately, we're looking somewhat neutral, still just expecting a lot of sideways price range, relatively speaking, in this sideways price range. And obviously, this is very boring price action if you're simply just holding Ethereum, or if you're looking to accumulate more Ethereum, this is very boring price action because there's nothing really happening. The price is just basically trading sideways. But even if we're seeing a little bit of volatility during the sideways price range, like what we've seen over the last 1 month or so, we've been chopping around sideways, not trading perfectly sideways. At least for now, you can make a lot of easy profits during price action just like this. For as long as you know what the range is, for as long as you know roughly where the support and the resistance is, you can make a lot of easy profits in a choppy sideways price action just like this, in a choppy sideways price range, I should say. And so if you want to know how to do that, if you want to know how you can easily make a lot of passive money during price action just like this, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But with that being said, getting straight into the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and Solana is still running into this very important area of support, still sitting in between around 143 to 146, and so far we are still holding above that area, but we're getting very close to possibly breaking below that support. So we're still hanging around that area, but not yet actually confirmed to break to the downside. And as I've said multiple times recently here on the channel, if we actually confirm a break to the downside, so if we see a daily candle close, for example, below 143, and especially if we fail to get back above that area, in that situation, it would be extremely likely we'd see a continued drop over the next few days or weeks following that break down towards around 124 to 125 as the next major point of support. And if that were to happen, obviously that would be a significant change in price structure. We're already looking a little bit more bearish than we are bullish in terms of the price structure here. The moment we broke below around 167, that was the first change in price structure. But especially if we break below 143 with confirmation, that'll be very bearish for the price of Solana when we're talking about the short to midterm. But obviously we've not yet confirmed to break below this area, which means there's still the possibility we could see yet another bounce from this area of support, as we've seen it many times over the recent weeks and over the last 1 month, give or take. And if we were to see a little bit more of a bounce here, expect some resistance at roughly around 154 to 156, give or take, around there, and major resistance at roughly around 167. But overall, not a lot has changed for the price of Solana over the last 1 day. We're still lacking momentum to either direction. It's the same story as what I've been saying recently here on the channel for not just Solana, but a lot of the crypto market. So without wasting any more of your time, getting straight into the price of XRP on the daily time frame, it's a similar situation for XRP. Obviously, we're very much lacking momentum to either direction, looking very neutral in the short term, very much flat in the price, as we could see. And so ultimately, we're still just trading in a sideways price range in between support and resistance. First of all, we still have strong support in between roughly $2.05 to $2.10. So that is the buy area based on this sideways price range. And the sell area, or the take profit area, is in between roughly $2.30 to $2.35. That is the strong resistance. But remember, you can make a lot of easy profits in the crypto market during choppy sideways price action just like this. So definitely stick around to the end of the video to find out more about the trading strategy where you can easily make money in the market during price action just like this. When a lot of other people are getting bored with crypto and quitting crypto, there's still opportunity in the market no matter what the price is doing. But considering the fact we've seen really no changes over the last 1 day for XRP, we're still lacking momentum. So that is what I continue to expect in the short term, relatively sideways price action. Without wasting any more of your time, getting straight into the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame. And Chainlink is also testing very important support, sitting at roughly $12.80. And for now, we're still holding above that area of support at around $12.80 once again. And so for now, obviously, we're still looking okay. But if we were to actually confirm a break below that level, especially with a daily candle close below $12.80, and especially if we fail to get back above that level, in that situation, we would at least likely see a drop to the lower $12 area, around $12.10 to $12.20. And then around there, we could find some support. But if we fail to hold above, especially $12, in that situation, would likely see another $1 drop approximately below $11, likely in between $10 to $11 as the next major area of support. Obviously, if we first fail to hold these other levels. But for now, in the immediate short term, we are still holding above that $12.80 level, which at least for now, once again, is some good news because that is very important support, as we could see. And if we were to see a little bit more of a bounce from this support level, in that case, expect some short-term resistance at around $13.60, more resistance at around $14.10 to $14.20, and major resistance in between $14.90 to $15.50, especially that $15.50 level acting as very strong resistance. And if we're zooming further into the short term, taking a look at the 4-hour Chainlink price chart, for now, we still have an active bullish divergence to pay attention to, which is technically still playing out, as I mentioned in my last video just yesterday. And as always, a bullish divergence means we're most likely going to see either a slight bullish relief like this, or potentially just a bit of choppy choppy sideways price action as the most likely outcomes, the most common outcomes from a bullish divergence. So basically a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action, but not necessarily a significant bullish move. And so those are still my expectations in the shorter term for the price of Chainlink. And so overall, we're not necessarily looking overly bearish right now because we're still holding above these key levels of support, not just for Chainlink, but a lot of the cryptos I've been talking about in these videos, still currently holding above these very important levels of support, as we can see. And yes, we can see maybe a slight bullish relief, but overall, we're lacking momentum to both directions in the shorter term. That is still the situation, at least right now. But obviously, if you want to get set up, ready to go to take advantage of the next trading opportunity, definitely get set up, ready to go using the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can trade crypto no matter what the price is doing to profit if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.